This week's parsha is the most important parsha in the entire Torah. You may ask, why is this week's parsha the most important in the entire Torah? Well, let me tell you. Parashah Chukat contains the laws of the red heifer and the death of Miriam. We see the nation's water supply dry up and Hashem's instructions to Moshe on how to obtain water for the people. We have Moshe and Aaron are slightly deviating from Hashem's directions, their punishment of not being permitted to enter the land of Israel, and the death of Aaron. But none of that is why this is the most important parsha in the Torah. The reason this is the most important parsha is because it reveals the most important element for us to maintain our relationship with Hashem. You'll remember back in past videos I talked about two kinds of mitzvot. You have a mishpat and you have a chok. A mishpat is a logical mitzvah, a chok an illogical one, a mitzvah we can't comprehend. Well, this week's parsha is called Parsha Chukat, literally the parsha you can't comprehend. If that's the case, maybe we should just end the video here. If the very name of the parsha tells us we have no chance at understanding it, maybe we call it a day. Or maybe we haven't quite grasped what a chok really is. I don't think illogical is the right description of a chok. There's nothing illogical about the laws of the red heifer, the mitzvah in this week's parsha that's held up as the ultimate example of a chok. It's not that it's inherently illogical, it's just we don't understand what that logic is. That's different from being inherently illogical. If your spouse tells you to pick up a pizza on the way home from work, what do? You pick up a pizza. Why? Because you can see the logic in that. You're going to be having pizza for dinner, and you love pizza. But you don't actually know that that's why your spouse asked for the pizza. Maybe a new neighbor moved in, and your spouse wanted to bring them a pizza as a welcome gift. But the truth is, the reason doesn't matter. You pick up the pizza because your spouse asked you to, and you love your spouse. That is a mishpat. You think you can understand the logic, but you might be wrong. But what if your spouse asks you to do something you don't understand? What if your spouse tells you to park 2 roads away from the house and wait in your car until they call you? Do you do it? Even though you might not see the logic, even though you don't see what's in it for you, you still do it because your spouse asked you to. You love them, and you trust that what they are asking is for the good. That's a chok. You can't even guess at the logic, but you do it anyway. That's what relationships are about. And just as that's what a spousal relationship is about, so too is it with our relationship with Hashem. The mitzvot that seem logical to us, when we keep them, are we doing that for Hashem, or are we doing that for us? Are we not murdering because that's a solid rule that helps us live in a civilized society? Or are we doing it because Hashem said so? Are we doing it for us, or are we doing it to enhance our relationship with the creator of the entire universe? And that's the power of a chok. The chok is our opportunity to do a mitzvah for no reason other than Hashem told us to. The chok is our opportunity to show our motivation for the performance of every mitzvah is never about us, it's always about our relationship with Hashem. There's one other idea I wanted to share. We don't like talking about death. We have many euphemisms in every language to help us avoid the word death. The Torah is no different, but we have a very unusual euphemism in this week's parsha. When Aaron is about to die, the Torah describes it as Aaron shall be gathered to his people. Gather to your people is a strange way to describe death. I can see gather to Hashem, but why gather to your people? This past week, as I was putting together this video, we marked Gimel Tammuz, the yurtzeit of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. This year marks 30 years since his passing, and I think that by looking at the impact of the Rebbe, you can understand what it means to be gathered to your people. In every generation, there's a small number of people who have a massive impact on the world. Of those people, very few have their impact persist after their death. But the rarest of all is when someone's impact grows after death. The Rebbe is one of those rare few. The Rebbe's impact today is even greater than it was during his lifetime, and that's because when he died, his mission was gathered to his people. His mission became the mission of an entire movement. Of course, that was true in his lifetime as well, but it's only grown in these past 30 years. You have Chabad, you have Chabad Shluchim, who were born after the Rebbe's passing, who have taken that mission and continue to change the Jewish world. That's what it means to be gathered to your people. When the Rebbe assumed the leadership of the Chabad movement, he famously said that there are 3 loves: the love of Hashem, the love of Torah, and the love of the Jewish people. And those 3 loves are one and they cannot be separated from each other. This series is my way of demonstrating that interconnectedness. Motivated by my love for Hashem, I'm bringing my love of Torah to my brothers and sisters, the Jewish people whom I love. In recognition of the Rebbe's unparalleled and ongoing impact on the Jewish world, I encourage all of you to forward this video to someone, share it on Facebook, post it to a WhatsApp group. And in doing that, you will help bring the Jewish world a little closer together and show those three loves really are one. That's one reason, or maybe two reasons, why this is the most important parsha in the entire Torah. But the other reason is that the most important piece of Torah is whatever piece of Torah you have in front of you right now. Shabbat Shalom and Yisroel Chai.